Hey everyone, brand new Inspiration Wednesday, and before I begin, I realized as I went to open my book today, everything was sticking together. So I have never waxed these, so I need to wax them. So what does that mean? I use this product called Dorland's Wax, and if you just buff it on, it's like a smooth, it's like turtle wax for your car. It's like a smooth wax, and then it just keeps it from sticking because it's really humid where I live. Now if you live in Arizona, you won't need this. But me, here in North Carolina, I do. And I just buff it on. I like to put it in the creases because that's usually what sticks. You don't need a lot. And this jar will last you an eternity. So, and I've also heard of people using candles, and you can do that. It just, for me, that's not enough here because those cracks and all that sticky stuff. So just buffing that on. And then I also realized as I was pulling my pages apart this morning that you would think that I am an artist that hates color. I have done these two like muted pages back to back, and yeah, what's that about? So I'm gonna have to add color today. I'm just gonna have to give it some color. This one wasn't sticking too bad, so I don't need too much, but just gonna wax it on. It will take like maybe even 2 or 3 days, and you'll feel like it's still a little pliable. It will feel like pleather, but it will cure, so don't worry about anything. I just, I'm ready to go. So that said, let me take that out of the way. Again, if you live in a humid environment, as I pick this up off the floor, it's almost like a no-brainer. You have to have that. So I am going to gesso and tape my pages to start this next week. And I do have an idea in mind because I opened the book and I was like, oh, like no color? And I'm sure you're questioning my sanity on the other end going, really, Donna? This is what you call art journaling? There's no color to it. And some of you might like that. So anyway, I'm going to tape these up and gesso the pages. Now, I always put too much gesso, so you know that's coming. Oh, where's my gesso? There it is. Oh, look at that. See, this is what happens when you don't clean your stuff. It's like a big clog. So, that skewer that I used in the last video, it's useful for so many things. Alright, so that's dry. So here's my idea for today. I want pops of color. So I had this vision of like kind of cutting this into like this small half and then this larger one like this. And I'm going to pick a color palette. So the two colors that came into mind are Nicolazo Gold and Payne's Gray. Now Nicolazo Gold is like baby poop yellow, and Payne's Gray is like this dark, rich, bluish, just like a midnight color. And I kind of see them like this, like the light yellow here. And it's kind of very Van Gogh-ish. He always liked blue and yellow, but I'm kind of playing on Poop's colors. Anyway, so those are the two main colors. So then I pulled out, because I know I want some more blues with that. Maybe I do. I pulled out Cobalt Blue and Manganese Blue hue. Now, will I use them? I don't know. That's just kind of what I pulled out when I pulled my colors. And then I also pulled out to go with Baby Poop Yellow, which is Nicolazo Gold. Not quinacridone Nicolazo Gold. It's just Nicolazo Gold. I pulled out Hansa Yellow Light and Green Gold, just in case I want to add some other colors to it. So again, will I use them? I have no idea. Am I going to put them on a palette next to me? Yes. Now here's the other thing. Do you need these colors? Absolutely not. I am using fluid acrylics. Now fluid acrylics will flow a lot nicer. They're like, the difference between heavy cream and skim milk. So I'm going to get a different bleeding effect because I think I might add water or just like bleed them out a little bit. I might even get some glaze depending on what I'm thinking here. But I'm just putting some, oh, you can't really see that. Putting some piles of it. I put my paint out on my palette if I intend, like if I've pulled these colors out, like maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. Even if I don't use them, I pull them out. And I know you might think that's a bit wasteful, and I guess technically it is, but if I don't have them on my palette, I'm not going to be likely to just stick my brush in them. So that's my train of thought. The other thing is, I always have either a smush book or another canvas at the ready that, oh, look at that, it's like farting at me. Oh, anyway, whatever that is. So that if I have extra paint, I'll put on that canvas, and then that canvas inevitably becomes part of something else I work on down the road. So I never truly waste it, but it might not be the way you choose to do things. So just, just because I do it doesn't mean it's right. It's just what works for me. And you can use any paint you want. You can even use heavy bodied. It's just when you start to flow them and move them, they might not move as nicely, but you can add mixatives to them like airbrush medium or even fluid matte medium might work. What else could you use? You can use a little bit of water, but you're gonna dilute your color. Anyway, just play around with it. Okay, so I'm gonna take, I really do like my Catalyst brushes for this, and I was thinking, do I wanna even paint it like, you know, in a direction like this? But I was thinking this might be darker here up and get lighter, and then this might be darker here and go down, so maybe I'll work like this. And I don't care about like exact line. So anyway, I need to just stop talking and just go in. So I'm just gonna go in with a line kind of like that, just to give myself bearings. And just give some paint color. My brush might have been a little wet too. You can see how it's bubbling and stuff. So I'm looking to just get pure intent. And I might even go several layers on this. So now I'm gonna rinse my brush off. I might even just take a baby wipe, rinse it off, and get some water. And maybe even angle this up, I hope you can see this. And just kind of start adding some water to this, just so I can get, and just jerky little strokes, just to get this not to look like paint strokes, but like it's bleeding down. And I might need to add a little bit more water just to loosen up the brush strokes, just to get it drippy, almost like making it a watercolor. And you could totally use watercolor on this, it's just that watercolor is not going to be permanent. So depending on what I don't know what I'm going to do on top. Really, that's the best answer. I don't know what I'm going to do on top. What if I don't want it to reconstitute and I've used watercolor? So even though my effect may mimic the watercolor, because I know about myself that I like to layer, watercolor is not usually my best go-to. So I'm just adding more water as I go down, just blending it out. And my water's now dirty, so I don't think I have any special magic water. Just trying to get like that ombre effect. And I've kind of diluted all the stuff down there, but at least I have some kind of dark. And I might just clean off my brush a little bit and just try to remove most of the color down here. I could even use a baby wipe. Why not? It's kind of catching on the end here, so I'm just trying to take that so it maybe runs off. All right, I am gonna need a baby wipe just to wipe this off. Okay, so I've got that, and I might just, oh, that's nice. Just baby wipe, shimmy down the edge here. Random, I'm not looking for straight lines at all. All right, I'm gonna take a heat gun to that, just so I can dry it. I don't want to make green where they meet. So I'm just gonna dry. The reason the inclusions there is to kind of trump myself. What do I do with it? But I'm thinking I want to now incorporate this. So now that this is flat here, I want it, so when it flips this way, it's part of this image, and maybe when it flips that way, it's part of that one. So I probably should not have put that in water. I don't want it too wet. And I'm gonna give it that line, like I did here. So I'm just gonna get that cleaned off, and I'm gonna go into the Payne's Gray. And now I'm gonna start working this way. Just going in, kind of darkest here. See what we get. I think I want to build up layers. Like I really want it darker up this way. I just couldn't do it on my first pass, so I think I'm just gonna go in and just start really building up. I want some depth. I'll go one more pass with the Payne's Gray, just to, again, create the depth. So I've got that, and I think that's, you know, the darkness I kind of want. If not, I'll keep getting layers, but I want to make sure this matches this now. So I've got to go back in with the Payne's Gray and kind of start adding dark layers without destroying. Maybe I should put a piece of paper. I'm gonna get a piece of paper. I'm just gonna need one more time to make it darker, I think, just so it matches a little bit better. So I'm kind of liking the way this is going, and it's fun like to imagine this with different colors too. So I keep going back and forth, just building up colors. Now I'm going to go back to this one. I want to start adding some more color in, but I just want to give this a little bit richer feel right here. I think I'm ready to add some new colors to this. And let's see, I'm going to take a little bit of that cobalt blue. I just want a little bit of something. Very abstract. Now I'm thinking I want to go in up here. The green might be a bad choice. We're going to find out. Like if I was doing the whole page like this, it would be a really cool landscape. But clearly I'm not doing a landscape because that's not where my mind went. So anyway, I do like the horizon. So in keeping with that thought, the desire to create, I want to put this here. I just want to put it there. I don't know where. Maybe is it underneath that yellow? Is it on it? Is it a little above? Is it dead smack in the center with modeling paste? Do I colorize it? Do I glaze over it? These are all the questions I'm having right now, but I need something on the horizon. And I do love words. I like putting words into most everything I do. So I'm thinking that. So let's just do it. So one of the things that I always do wrong when I put modeling paste or a stencil is I try to put it on super thick. So I'm going to try not to. And when you're using a book, it's wonky and stuff like that. So just going to be very patient with it. And my paint's working with me because it's a little tacky still. So I'm just going to be very patient. I'm not going to have everything all at once. No patience over here. So it doesn't have to be super thick, even though I do like that. But usually when I do text, I find that because I want to make it super thick, I end up ruining it. And I'm not really too worried about the words underneath, like if I happen to get the modeling paste in there, because I can just wipe it off with a baby wipe. Alright, so it says the desire to create. And, I say don't put on too thick, and here I am going back over it again. But let's just... I like texture. Alright. I have to walk away from it. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Almost want to put soul there. Could I leave that there? I mean, I might take that one off, but I kind of like that stuff going on. That's weird. Let's just put soul here. Making it up as I go along, people. Just making it up. Oh, hope that doesn't ruin that. See, if you could be patient, Donna, you wouldn't have to worry about that. So now, what to do next? So I've got this white thing, and I mean, I could keep it white because that's a nice contrast, but I don't want to. I want to glaze, at least here. So here's my couple options I'm weighing over. I could go with quinacridone nickel azo gold. Let's find that so you can see what I'm talking about. This color. It would really warm it up. But I don't think I want that here. I can go with my old standby as I walk over. I should just bring my colors to me. That would be easier. Raw umber, but that's too predictable. I could also kind of crazy it up and go, let's say, with quinacridone magenta. Now that would probably make an orangey color here and like a purpley color here. That might be fun. So that's where I stand. Where do I go? So I think I'm on the cusp of these two, and I don't know what the right answer is. I just don't. I'm going to go magenta. Just stop deliberating over it. I mean, if you hate it, I mean, here's my thought. If I hate it, well, then I know I never do that again. But if I don't do it, well, then how do I know? Why be limited by, oh, what if it doesn't turn out good? Who cares? It's an art journal. It's where you learn. It's where we're all learning. It's where we take risks. So let's just do that. Did you like that little pep talk? All right, so let's see. Let me clean off my brushes. I never clean my brushes. Now I've got the quinacridone magenta and the glaze, and typically it's 50-50 like I said, but if you want it thinner, add more. If you want it thicker or darker, add less. So I'm just gonna mix that in here. I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm just gonna go right here for now. And we'll see what that looks, do I even play? Why am I playing it safe? Why am I playing it safe? I don't know. Years ago I got these books. It's 8,789 words of wisdom, and it's literally a random book of wisdom, just quotes and stuff. So I'm opening the first page. I'm thinking maybe put some words on here, and the third one on here says love your work, then you will find pleasure in mastering it. So why not put that on there? Oh, and why not use your gold scissors to do it? So I'm gonna cut that out and put those words on there. Fluid matte medium, which is basically just clear fluid acrylic paint. Ooh, look, I like totally sealed it shut. Ugh. Oh, strong like bull. And I'm gonna clean that brush off and put a little bit on the back here. It's just clear paint, so it will act like glue. I'm doing this really backwards, but you get what I'm doing here. That just seals it in there, so it's not gonna flip up at any time. And I like that. I'm not done. I mean, I got the color. And it kind of feels like I'm in Malibu. I don't know. I don't know where I want to go with this. I mean, sometimes the best bit is like walk away, you're happy with it. But I think it needs something else. It does. It needs something else. I don't know what it is. I need to bring this yellow down in here. It could go incredibly wrong. But I mean, that's really small, but I want something. I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with that. I'm not even sure I love that. This is what we do when we're not sure if we love it. We just do that. When in doubt, toilet paper tube might be your answer. So let's go into manganese blue hue with my toilet paper tube. Is that my answer? I don't know. Well, now I got two colors of blue on there. Let's just go for it. I'm not sure that's the answer either, people. I gotta glare. I mean, it's not doing anything for me. That's not the answer. None of that's the answer. Alright, well, I'll be back. Alright, so when all's lost, what's the answer? Numbers. I like numbers. So I put my number stencil out. I'm not sure if, I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, am I in love with this? Absolutely not. But am I gonna go for it? I think I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna go for it and see where it leads me. So, I have kind of discovered Liquitex spray paints. This is just black spray paint. I think it's carbon black. Okay, so open a window before you do this. It is a little bit stinky like spray paint is, but it's acrylic paint and spray paint. So I'm gonna put some numbers over here. You're just gonna wing it. So I just center this stencil and just hope that numbers get on there. And I'm thinking I just want some numbers here and then maybe here and then, I don't know, maybe there. Because I need 3, right? Because the world stops. And the other thing is, and I know, the only reason I can say this is because I am a scrapbooker, I've come from scrapbooking, is that we tend to see a stencil and think we've got to get every part of the image of the stencil on our thing. And that's not true. We're just going for a snippet. It doesn't really matter what design you have. It doesn't need to be numbers, it can be flowers, it can be dots, it can be whatever. You just want a snippet of that. Now, usually black is a color that you think it would make things darker, but a lot of times it makes your colors brighter. White makes colors dull. And a good example of that is if you have red paint and you add white to it, it makes the color pink. It dulls the color. So black is usually my go-to, but I do have like a dark gray here. This is neutral gray 5. And I was thinking about that, but I don't think I want neutral. So let's just see what I get here. I like that. Probably should have sprayed it a little bit closer because it got a little fuzzy, but that's okay. And it might be too because the stencil's not laying flush. Okay, and all right, see how that didn't get fuzzy? I was a little bit closer. I like that. I do like that a lot. Now it's giving me a graffiti look, and I'm loving that. Now where do I want to go with it? Ooh. Ooh. I could paint a little on top of it. I don't know. I'm talking to myself. Like, I probably should have walked away from this before, but I can't. I can't walk away. I just like playing. So maybe a little gesso, because I do like using gesso instead of white paint. It's not for any good reason other than I buy gesso by the, you know, quart, and I buy white paint by the little tiny bottle. So I just use it like it's white paint. So I'm going to go in here. And I don't really want to go in white, but it might be interesting to see what happens over here if I just subtly kind of come in over the blue. Because this side's already lighter, so I'm thinking that might be an interesting way to start. I don't know. I can't even give you instruction because I don't even know what I'm doing. Kind of took an interesting turn. Now it feels like warm and ice, like the elements or something. That's totally what I was going for, right? No, not at all. And again, this has no like meaning. Like to me, like I'm not like, oh my God, I love that, whatever. So I'm just gonna see where this goes. I feel like maybe I bring this, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I guess I kind of want something. I don't know what to do. Are you feeling me, people? I just don't know. I mean, I don't like that. That's bad. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just coming in with a little nickel azo gold again. I don't know. I'm hoping that just by moving, something comes to me. I do like embedding that down, pushing it back. I don't know. We'll see where this takes me. One of those fine liners filled with Payne's Gray and a little airbrush medium, and I'm just going across this horizon. Pretty sketchy. You can use anything, a pen, or you can even use a detail brush. I like the fine liner. I don't know what that's doing because it's clearly not doing a whole heck of a lot, but again, I don't know where to go with it, so now I'm just pulling out anything to kind of keep the momentum going until I figure out what I want to do. And it could be that I'm done. I just don't feel like it's done. I will say this one is labor intensive. It's always, you know, this is the kind of thing that if I were working on a canvas, I would walk away for a week and come back. But since it's Inspiration Wednesday, I'm not walking away from it. I'm going to stick with it. It's not that I hate it. I mean, I could totally walk away. It's an art journal. It's not, you know, it's not world peace or anything. But there's just something that needs to tie it all together. And it's got the elements I love. It's got color. It's got texture. It's got text. But, it's got I like lines. I don't know. I just play around pulling things out. I kind of like, well, you know I like numbers anyway, but I kind of like that little collage-y bit potentially happening over here. Just some washi tape. I do like that. And I'm going to get some glue here because I'm just going to roll with that there because that made me happy. So let's keep it there. Put some glue underneath here. So usually I go into my stash of stuff, and I know that you guys have like a stash of bits, tapes and tags and metal things and trinkets and book text and maps and all that kind of stuff. So I just have that stuff around, and I'm saying, all right, well, what do I want to put there? And I wasn't going in the direction of this collage thing, but then I put it there and I was like, oh, I like it. And I don't really know why I like it. I mean, I don't know. I just like it. White adds a more pop of white, brings in all the other colors, got the black in there still, brings in the numbers from over here with the numbers back there. I don't know. I could even be done, I'm not sure. But incredibly happy about that. pulling out bits of stuff and I feel this is coming together. So I just have these metal numbers. Every time I find numbers because I like them, I just collect them. So these I got at just a junk store. And I'm thinking I need to put those here on the yellow, and the yellow happens to go. And then I think, this could quite possibly be done. So I don't know, do I put them in the center? Do I put them at the, oh, I like them in the center. Do I put them all the way at the top and make it off center? I don't know. But I do like that. I do. All right, I think I might glue those down. Maybe do I tape those down? Well, let's just see real quick. So yeah, go through your stash of stuff. And now you have the benefit of me already doing this, so you know where it's going. No, I don't want that tape. So you can choose colors based off of the crap you collect. My glue, and I think I'm just gonna glue these down. All right, so that was a little bit painful, but I got to a place where it really made me happy. So in the end, it was worth following it through. So what are the benefits here for you? So you watch me struggle and I figure out for myself what will work according to my standards. Now, when you're working, you can stop or keep going if you don't like a lot of white space, clearly you're not going to have the same junk stuff that I've found, but you can think about colors going in. You might even be able to say, okay, I want to use green and pink, and I'm going to pull all the stuff that matches that. Or you can just fly by the seat of your pants like I did and just say, hey, I don't normally use yellow and blue. I want to do something different. I want to do something that the inclusion is not really the central focus of what I'm doing. I added things that I knew that I loved. I knew when I wasn't sure what was going on that numbers made me happy, so go ahead and add those in. But if maybe yours is flowers, maybe these instead of numbers would have been flowers, or they could have been chipboard letters, or whatever it is that you have on hand, just go with it. Because part of understanding yourself as an artist and working through mixed media is knowing how far you can push yourself and for how long. Because there is no reason that I can think of that in any journal you're working on, you can say, you know what, not today, this isn't working. And I can't because I'm on camera, but there's no problem with that. Or even if I had stopped 2 steps before that and said, you know what, I'm gonna call this done, let's put a date stamp on it, totally acceptable. So don't give up on yourself, keep pushing. Try things that you've never tried before. I don't know if I'll ever put these colors together again, but I know that I loved this color, and I know that I love this color, and I know that I love this color, but maybe next time I'll trump it up. One of the other things that I thought was really cool as I was working on this is not that I meant to do this at all, because clearly you watched me stumble, but I feel like there is some kind of elemental thing going on here where it goes from warm down to the cold, and I do kind of appreciate that. Clearly it wasn't a sentiment that I was trying to put in there, but I do like that when I look at it, I get a sense of this nice warm and a sense of this icy cold, and maybe that tells a lot about my heart. It's warm and icy cold. But I do end up liking that. It was something that I didn't foresee going into it, but now as I look at it with fresh eyes, I really like that. So I'm going to put a date stamp on here because I have now babbled for long enough. All right, so today is the 3rd. But I didn't put 30. No, put the 3rd. Now where to put the tag? See, that's the next thing. You get all this far and you're like, where do I put the tag? I'm thinking, and I always tear the bottom off. And everybody says, do you keep these? No, I don't keep these. And I know I should because I could put them in something else. Not doing it. All right, so I'm thinking maybe just putting it over here like ooh, low might be interesting. Let's go low. And my new gold stapler that I just love. And let's do 3 on this one. All right. So that is it for Inspiration Wednesday. I'm really happy that I followed that through. I'm proud of myself that I followed through and didn't give up and didn't get frustrated. So note to self, give it a whole 100% effort this week. And if you don't follow along with what I've done, because that might be hard to do, pick colors that speak to you. Go with something that you just haven't tried before. All right, that's it for this week. See you next time.